on, guys? Xavier here with you on theStreamtv. You're watching the American Horror Story After Show, episode 4, titled Devil's Night.
Yes, and I'm Kristin Carole. We're so excited to be back, you guys. I'm on the live chat on YouTube. We are live right now. And of course, you can always tweet us at hashtag AHSAS.
The most difficult hashtag ever to say.
It's a tongue twister. It's good.
But yeah, so holy hell, it's like, I'm always just a little emotionally drained after these, right? It's like, oh my God. But I feel like this episode was a little easier to digest because it was, I didn't feel like it was as long. It was just on an hour, this one.
No, it was, just shy of, technically it was like an hour and 9 minutes with the commercials on it. But yeah, it wasn't, I didn't feel as, oh my God. I still loved it. It had such like cool moments, but it definitely wasn't as, there were still drill bits, but different ways.
There was still absolutely messed up things going on, but maybe we're all just a little immune now.
Maybe.
You know, like someone, someone sure enough got their head drilled tonight, and lots of crazy things happened, and a kid ate a dog. But after a couple episodes, you start getting used to this.
You're like, I called the dog thing too. I'm like, oh no, Holden's eating the dog.
She did call the dog thing. I'm impressed. So would we call this a transitional episode, or would you just call it a less eventful episode than usual?
Ooh. But a different kind of event, like just the fact that you have all these serial killers all together in a room is crazy in and out of itself. That he's able to do that in a sort of way and have like alcohol and all these drugs involved with it. Yeah, I don't know what you'd call this episode.
I don't know, whatever.
It wasn't as shocking.
See, as I said, we just watch this and go straight live. So it's like half the time by the time we've got here, we haven't really gotten in touch with our emotions. So, but let's start.
It's all over the place.
First off, we're introduced to Richard Ramirez, who I thought was, I don't know who he is, but he was a really cool cat, like the actor at least.
Yeah, the guy, not so much. Also.
So Kristin's got the lowdown on each of these murderers for us, and she's going to hook us up. So tell us who this guy actually was.
Murder number 1, Richard Ramirez, also known as the Night Stalker. He has 13 counts of murder, 5 counts of attempted murder, 11 counts of sexual assault, and 14 counts of burglary in his life.
So I felt like it was kind of cool that they just incorporated all these real life murderers into the dinner. Do you think the families of these murderers would mind that their loved ones, even though they were crazy murderers, have been incorporated into a TV show?
I think it depends on the family and how it all happened. I told you my mom knew what the last guy that Gacy killed back in, because I'm from Chicago, and we were from suburb nearby, and so I don't know, like I'd be interested, she's probably watching too, so I'm going to ask her like her thoughts on that, because it is a personal topic for her. And in terms of, I can't even imagine if it was somebody like, if it was the parents of that watching. Like, I tend to think that kind of a group probably doesn't watch American Horror Story, to be honest, but I wouldn't know.
Well, they probably would if they knew their son was on it. But anyway, I thought that was a cool, just like went straight into it, and then he's like, died in 2013. It's like, okay, weird things are happening here. Obviously, we're having murderers coming into the hotel. It's like, I'm hearing all these different people like chiming in on Twitter and on the comments of these videos, giving me like their theories, and I really like, not theories, but the rules. So it's like, what is it? So,
well, it's like when we found out Murder House, Halloween, like these ghosts have like special rules.
Ghosts are allowed to leave on Halloween?
And Devil's Night is like they were saying. It's the better version of Halloween. Like this is the night for the most evil people. Halloween's just, for kids trick or treating. So Devil's Night is for the evilest of the evil. Can I even set a term? Yeah,
it is. But anyway, and then so we got to so the cleaning lady. Do you remember what her name was?
Miss Evers.
Miss Evers, that's right. So that was kind of cool. I almost wasn't even considering there's so many characters. I kind of wasn't even expecting to hear more about her, really. Like considering we have so many other people to cover. But I did see that was a really cool. What did you think? What did you think of the scene with that?
It makes a lot of sense for her too, because she probably thinks of March kind of like her son. That she lost, and she's got obviously this twisted ideals of what's going on, but she's protecting him like she couldn't protect her son, Albert, I think his name was. And I thought it was cool too. Every one of these stories is based off of something. So the Wineville chicken coop murders is a thing that happened in 1925 or 26.
And if you guys hadn't, I sort of, it rung a bell with me, but the movie, The Changeling, Angelina Jolie, there's a film based on it that I thought was awesome. But,
I was like, oh, that's right, because I'd seen it back in 2008 when it came out.
Yeah, but I thought it was a great movie, and then I was like, hang on a second, is this? And then Kristin Googled it, and sure enough, it was intertwined with that. So that's pretty wild. But yeah, so the cleaning lady, I thought that was a really cool little insight we got there, and it's given Wes Bentley is finding out it's clicking, but it's like, you know, so he's like, all right, that was a murder that happened in the 20s. I just spoke to this lady. That means she'd have to be like 100. Literally, it's 2015. She'd have to be like 100 years old. Very, very old, older than what she was. So he started, like, you know, at that stage, he's starting to like click and be like, lots of things don't make sense in this hotel. What the hell is going on?
Yeah,
and now, I mean,
she aging?
obviously things are just blown out. I mean, we'll get to it in a minute, but like, he's got to be either going crazy or like really putting some things together right now. So, and then like, you know, the next thing we see is. Sorry, calm down, Zave.
You got it.
So the next thing we see is Chloe Sevigny bringing Holden into her house. I'm surprised she even got the kid out of the house.
I am too, actually.
The hotel.
I had predicted last week that I thought for sure, like, Lady Gaga would, you know, the Countess would not let her do anything with her babies. Yeah. You know, and she definitely turned that around, and I know we'll talk about more of that later. But I was surprised. And also, she took the kid out in the sunlight. We know it doesn't kill it, but it just makes the...
Well, it did just say it's too bright.
Yeah, too bright at one point. But they, you know, Holden walked there from outside.
So, I mean, maybe that's like the Countess, does she just know? Like, is she like, he'll be back? Like, how does that even work? I agree. I would never have thought that the Countess would let the kid out there. And then, and yes, this girl did call the dog eating scene. She was like, oh, that dog is going to get eaten. Did you call it? I didn't.
As soon as Holden said, I'm hungry, I'm like, no. The dog. You know Holden's eating the dog right now. Yeah, I don't like that I called that, though.
Yeah, you're a sicko. But if you called that as well, let us know in the comment section below, because I will applaud you. But yeah, and then so the next scene we see is Gaga, Chloe. I mean, you know, yeah, I'm glad that Chloe like played the straight man. Like when Gaga was like, I can give you eternal life, and you know, you'll convert, and all this sort of stuff, and then she's just like, bitch, you're insane. Like, fair enough, because she is. That's if she had played along and been like, well, what do I have to do? It's like, yo, you've been like approached by a vampire here. It's 2015. We're in downtown. We're like 15 minutes from downtown right now. If I ran into someone like that after this show and they said, I'll turn you into a vampire, like, I'd do the same. I'm like, dude, you're crazy. What are you even talking about?
I'd probably just walk away because it's LA and I just feel like I've been approached with weirder things, if that makes sense.
So, I mean, it really jumped around there a bit, and I was a little bit confused by it. But my question is, doesn't she care about her daughter, like Scarlett?
Yeah, she's just leaving. Well, we saw in the other episode, she really doesn't as much. And I thought the Countess made a good point where she's like, I noticed a child who's going to be neglected. Yeah. Like, and she's, I've never neglected Holden, blah, blah. She's like, oh, like you never neglected your husband? Yeah. And I thought that was really interesting, too, because obviously it may have gone that way. And she does seem like, we had talked about it last week where you're like, I'm not sure if I like her or not. And I think Chloe Sevigny is actually doing her job because I don't think we're supposed to necessarily like her.
No, I don't like her character.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, she's a great actress because I think we're not supposed to really know what to think of her. I don't think anybody's so she said, like, woo, Team Alex.
I see that she... he was going to be neglected. It's like, no, I think he just had blonde hair, and you like blonde-haired kids that look like vampires. But I mean, if she was the favorite, I mean, if Scarlett was taken, maybe like the less, you know, the less loved kid. But I mean, Holden was her number one, so it's like, why would he have been neglected? What's the story? And Lady Gaga was walking awfully casually away from that scene where she stole Holden, considering that Wes Bentley's like running around, and the merry-go-round only really went around once before he noticed. It was quick,
super fast, and I feel like even though it is LA and like strange things happen, she had a lot of clothes on for the beach.
Yeah, she did have an umbrella,
definitely would have been like,
you know, safety first. Safety first.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know, man. That's it was like a heavy introduction to the episode. That raises some questions. I want to know more about that. I'm like, I'm hazy on it. Why?
I have a theory that I wrote in the blog, but it's really spoilery.
Sure.
So
But it's a theory, so you're not spoiling anything.
Well, no, because it's based off of an on-set picture. I don't want to spoil it. No. Go to the blog.
It's all good. If it's out there, it's out there. Let's hear it.
There's a picture of Lady. Okay, spoiler for a minute. There's a picture of Lady Gaga on set, pregnant, and it looks like it's a past scene. So my assumption was it looked like she was going to the murder house. That's what people were saying. So she went to the murder house. I think she got an abortion, and she's been trying to like replace the kid that got aborted.
Wow.
That's my guess.
That is awesome. So you guessing?
Read more in the blog.
You're guessing all that from seeing her pregnant photo
Yes.
of Gaga, and that could.
I spent way too much time on this.
Yeah, that could be a flashback.
I'm obsessed.
Yeah.
I think it's a flashback for sure.
I'm impressed.
Because I don't know if she could be pregnant as a vampire, could she?
Yeah,
that's an interesting question. What do you guys think? Tweet us. Vampire babies. Can they happen?
And then so we just
went off topic.
I think we've covered it. But yeah, all right. So the next thing that kind of was awesome, I think, was Lily Rabe's entry. I think she has done such a cool job on acting out this character, this serial killer.
I just love her. I wish she was in longer. I was saying that on the live chat. I think she's amazing.
Yeah, I think I see Lily Rabe at my local cafe every now and again, and I just like quietly fangirl and tweet about it. I don't actually do anything because I'm like trying to play it cool.
I'm gonna join you at this cafe.
Yeah, I've seen her like twice. I've seen her twice, and I'm always just like I don't know. I try and play it cool. I'm like, I don't care, but I really do. So I won't get on the tangent of who I've seen, but because there's been a couple. I think just a couple in the last few years, and it's hard to play it cool when you're dissecting these actors all the time, you know.
You're like, hey,
but the next one. So yeah, Lily Rabe, I thought she was so good, and she's done so. I mean, what they've got contacts in her eyes. What else did they do? Because she looked weird. Her eyebrows
are completely bleached. Yeah, and I'm sure she has like probably like some sort of prosthetics on as well.
Okay. What prosthetic? What like?
Like probably around her cheeks and stuff like that, because her whole.
What does that? What does prosthetics mean? Sorry,
the just like the makeup.
Okay.
Like heavier makeup, like you kind of stick to the face.
Got yeah.
Like when you do like zombie.
All right. All I could really pick from, like, she looks different, and I can't put together why. I noticed the contacts, I noticed the eyebrows, but I mean, her mannerisms and everything was awesome. She looked like a full hick, like redneck hick that happens to be a prostitute as well. Yeah, exactly. Well, and I haven't seen the movie Monster with Charlize Theron. That came out at a time where it was like I was almost old enough to see it. Like it was kind of that, do I go and see it at the theater kind of a thing. Yeah. So I feel like I want to go back and like watch that because Charlize Theron won the Academy Award for it. Yeah. And Lily Rabe was amazing tonight. So I'm kind of interested to see like, more of her story. Yeah. Besides what you hear about it, obviously, it's such a big, serial killer story. Yeah, I haven't seen that, so I'm interested now that I'm down with it. And my American serial killers, didn't grow up in this country, so they got to like catch up. All of a sudden, you'll be like, "What I learned in America," when you go back home. I learned about shootings and deaths and whack stuff. Yeah. But guys, so if you've just joined us, make sure you tune in and hit us on Twitter with the hashtag AHSAS. We're responding like tonight, and of course just all throughout the week. We have like our little crew that tweets us all the time, and we're like nerding out back and forth with you guys. So keep it up. It's awesome. But the next thing I want to bring up is the dinner. Is Mr. Munch's dinner with the serial killers, and Kristin has been kind enough to she's going to give us a lowdown, because I said, if you're like me, rundown. I don't know I know a few of the killers, I don't know all of them, so, and Kristin was filling me in, so let's go for it. So obviously we have Aileen Wuornos, who is played by Lily Rabe, 6 counts of first-degree murder. Yep. In Florida. And then we also have Jeffrey Dahmer, who is known, sorry about that. A lot of 17 victims: child molestation, disorderly conduct, indecent exposure, murder, public intoxication. As you pointed out, he ate people's hearts. I only know that because of Dark Horse, Katy Perry's song Dark Horse, and the rap part where he's like, "He'll eat your heart, she'll eat your heart out like Jeffrey Dahmer," and that's it. Yes.
But just all of his murders, just the worst, like necrophilia, cannibalism.
You get it? Camera guys are laughing at me. They get it.
You know,
I can hear them. I can hear them. They're like, oh, the Australian guy's trying to rap. Jesus.
That could just be a show in and out of itself. I hope you put that in your next musical.
Definitely won't.
Because you sing, right? You're in a band.
Yeah, I try
He's
to.
in a band, you guys. So it'd be perfect for that. So we also, Zodiac killer, of course, 5 confirmed dead, but possibly 20 to 28 total dead. And he was the one, if you'd seen the movie with Robert Downey Jr., Jake Gyllenhaal, Zodiac was all about that in terms of he would write little notes.
For the record, so Zodiac was the big guy with the thing over his head.
Yes, he just, because we don't know who he is technically. I mean, it's never been confirmed. So it's just
I feel like he was the only one they didn't really show too much.
No, they don't focus on him, but I guess when you have a bag on your head, like they don't care as much. It's like the demon.
Yeah, and then
John Wayne Gacy, of course, from
played
Illinois.
by John Carroll Lynch.
He likes his clowns. You know, Gacy was a clown. You know, and then he was Twisty last season.
Yeah, do you reckon like Ryan Murphy was like,
I already have it in
He's
Sane.
like, John, you want to do that?
Sane clown. Oh yeah, John.
Yeah. So that was like a little homage. But tell us about John.
And John has 1 count of sodomy, 33 counts of murder, 1 count of sexual assault, 1 count of indecent liberties with a child. So this guy. I feel really uncomfortable reading this, actually.
Yeah, I'm like, and over to our host to read you the body count of these murders.
Kristin, you can talk about
but that's interesting. Like, I want to know that, so that's really cool. I'm stoked. All right, so we got the lowdown on these guys, and it was just wild. So when Jeffrey Dahmer pulled out the drill, did you keep looking at the screen? I'm not gonna lie, I looked away. Did you?
I looked. But I kind of squirmed in my chair as well. That's where I usually, like, if I'm at home, I have a pillow.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of like ready. I still watch, but like just makes me feel better to have it. I did not have a pillow here, so I felt really exposed.
Yeah. All right. So
I was like, I couldn't hide.
And so what was he doing? I mean, like between like looking away and crying slightly, he drilled their head.
And put something in it, and he was like calling him a zombie or something like that. It was so weird.
Yeah, so he drew in his head and he like...
And then he's petting him and he's like, don't ever leave me.
And he's kind of like making out with him. Yeah, it was...
This guy's twisted as it comes.
I wonder how much research they did on these guys.
Oh, I bet they could do a lot.
They probably did tons, right?
I mean, there's so many shows on serial killers of America, and, history, A&E probably.
What are you thinking of Evan Peters' performance so far, like consistency?
I think he's great. I think that, we talked about earlier that he still looks like such a baby face. Mm-hmm. I love they actually did reference the fact, I forgot who came in, but was like, hey, Clark Gable, you know, because of the mustache and everything. Yeah. And he definitely has that air about him, you know, because he grew up like right around that time. Yeah. And so I thought that was really good. And he seems like he's enjoying it. I think so too. I know he is. I feel like it's kind of like he's really like.
I feel like he really he definitely had a great presence at the table, you know, with all these people. Like, he really commanded the attention, I felt. Because, I mean, obviously, I'm, like, closely monitoring his English accent. And I don't think he's doing great, really. I think it's like Evan Peters is such a talented actor. I feel like it's about time they gave him something really challenging. And I think he's doing a great job. And it's kind of an interesting accent, because I don't think it's entirely English, even. I think it's this weird, old-timey mixture of stuff. Yeah, it's definitely like a fancy old English accent. Yeah, with like a slight 1920s gangster thrown in there. At one point, I feel like he's gonna have like a cigar and be like, "Hey, why don't we kill a few people, knock them off?" You know? Yeah, but getting to that, so dessert. Oh, dessert comes. I was hoping it was like a cake or no. All right, cupcakes. Yeah, you know it was gonna be. I knew it was gonna be really messed up. I was thinking more like in terms of human. Like, I don't know if because Dahmer is a cannibal, maybe it was gonna be like eating a person, not killing them. Yeah, maybe they did, but it's just like, so they were all obviously everyone took a knife and just stabbed him, and I thought it was gonna get. I mean, I don't know how you felt, but I thought it was going to get really graphic after that. Like, I thought like we were going to see some stuff, and then it was a little tame for American. It was. I mean, you just saw some stabbing, and then I was like, all right, like, geez, what are they going to put us through now? And then Wes Bentley just sort of woke up. Yeah. Well, and I was also
reading a lot of stuff on Twitter earlier, and people were like, "Oh, this is before I watched it," and they go, "Oh, it's a serial killer orgy," and I'm like, "Are all these serial killers going to have an orgy?"
Yeah,
because
after a few episodes of watching this season, you're like, "Oh," you take things literally. Like, do they have an orgy like that?
That would have made sense.
That makes sense. Did they do it or not? Yeah.
Yeah, because March had sex with somebody the other week and killed them while he was having sex with them. So I wouldn't put it past it.
Yeah.
So I think then when it was just stabbing, I was like, oh, it's just stabbing.
Yeah. And so this next part is when we saw Chloe Sevigny getting converted to a vampire. So obviously before that we had seen Gaga, like, bloody Tristan just comes in and just punches her in the face. Doesn't give a shit anymore, that guy. But and then so she gets up and she'd come back in and then obviously Gaga reassured him. She's like, she's not going to go to the police, you know. She was obviously correct.
Comment too. I laughed out loud and he goes, she's not gonna ruin her one true love.
Yeah.
It's like, are you screwing her too?
Yeah. Are you banging her as well?
Yeah.
Oh man,
that was hilarious.
He's doing well. But yeah, so she did, sure enough, she came back. She's just like, she sucked on her blood and she's like converted. She's like, yep, cool. She obviously went away and thought about it, said, yeah, you know what? I think I will become a vampire because I want to hang out with my son again. But again, what about your daughter? What about your other kid?
Seriously, because Scarlett, John's going to be stuck at the hotel.
Yeah.
And then the mom's going to be stuck there because Holden's there.
Yep.
Just little Scarlett.
John's obviously he's not getting out.
Nope.
I mean, that he's seen too much.
Way too much.
So I guess like little Scarlett's just gonna come and be a vampire kid too. She's already blonde.
I feel like she should like come and like save the day.
That would be awesome. I think she's a really cool actor. I think she's got a real little flair about her.
She's really good.
So
I mean, heck, she's got more technology I did than when I was 8. She's staring around like an iPhone.
Yeah, and she knows how to catch the bus places, which you and I both don't.
Yeah, no, we're scared to go on the bus. If she can go on the LA bus, like she can survive anything.
She's killing it. But all right, guys, we're going to take a minute and just get our emotions together. Going to cut to a short break and we'll be back really soon. Peace.
Just in case you missed it live.
In case you missed it live.
In case you missed it live.
In case you missed it live, this is for you.
I love it. That was freaking oh my God.
I didn't see any of this. Yeah, I'm not even gonna lie. Yeah, I was like, kill him. Kill him. Definitely kill him. We're cool.
Shade. Shade left and right, ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies, let's put your 2 cents in.
Rubbed me the wrong way and the right way.
But you were like, well, we want to know what's going to happen.
That was cute.
We just want to say we love you all. Thank you so much for your support. You are all seriously the best in the world.
Another beautiful summer at theStreamtv. Here we go, guys.
Thank you for being here. Peace out.
Bye, guys.
What's up, guys? If you've just tuned back in, you are watching the American Horror Story after show here on theStream.tv. We're about to launch into some Twitter questions. Kristin, rack them up.
So first up, we got, what is this episode of AHS Hotel getting at? Is John supposed to be a serial killer now? Because he was invited to the party with all the serial killers. He's the only one alive.
I can see you've thought about this.
I was thinking about when I read that question, I'm like, is the reason he was invited is because it's like, does March sense a darkness in him? And he's slowly trying to get him there. And somebody else had tweeted earlier something about the fact that it kind of reminded them whenever he goes to the bar to see Liz Taylor. I know you hadn't seen The Shining, but it reminded this person of The Shining. And in that movie, Jack Nicholson's character, he goes to the bar and he keeps ordering a drink. And at one, he's like, I'd sell my soul for a drink kind of a thing. And then that slowly kind of makes him go mad because he belongs. hotel and the hotel is mad and it's crazy.
I mean, I think that's an awesome question. It's like, why is John able to walk in and out? Why is he in room 64? Why hasn't he been killed off as soon as he got there like everyone else? Yeah, it's like there's got to be something more. Like maybe...
Do they keep him around because he is a cop? And if he died there, would there be...
I just don't. I don't feel like
much.
they're scared of the police, right?
No.
Like.
But if there was a lot of attention at it, it probably would cause them a huge problem.
Maybe. It's just, yeah. I kind of feel like that's a really cool idea. Is that maybe John killed himself when Holden was taken, or something. Yeah. Maybe John's hanging around the hotel because he wants to be close to Holden, same as like Iris and Matt Bohm. Or like maybe there's some, sixth sense weird thing he doesn't know he's a ghost or something like that.
Or if they're gonna even go further and be like, okay, well, what's his lineage? Like, who's his dad? Maybe there is some sort of serial killer inside of him that he doesn't know is there yet. And I think maybe what we're watching is kind of like in Breaking Bad. Do we see him at the beginning, or we're going to see him break bad by the end, where he's this big villain, where he's worse than James March, and we're watching his evolution to that.
Sure. The thing is, it's just like, he's like handcuffed to the chair. He shot Dahmer, but it's like, how is he?
I love that too. Don't you know we're dead?
I know, but it's like, how is these how are they supposed to even fight these people? Like.
Power of Christ compels you.
Yeah, it's such a tough one. Anyway, that's a really great question. That was sent in from @GSarkis_. So thanks for that, bro. Appreciate it. That's a cool one. Next question.
It's actually a girl.
Oh, so. Thank you, my love. It's got creepy. All right, next one. You want to read it out?
From @SexMyShades.
Love it.
Hashtag AHS Hotel. So if they all dead, are they ghosts? How are they killing people?
So if they're all dead.
How are they killing people if they're ghosts, basically?
That's
the Ryan Murphy effect.
That's exactly what I was saying for the last question. That was my question from that. It's like, I don't know. It's like, it's double standards here. It's like, if you're a ghost, how can you kill people, and why can't living people kill you?
Well, the thing that kind of also surprised me with this is that, okay, so the ghosts that were already in the hotel, March, Sally, etc., they haven't left the hotel.
Yeah.
But now we see these serial killers came from wherever they came from, they came in the front door.
Yeah.
So where are they at most of the year? Because obviously Devil's Night, they can go wherever they want and wreak havoc, and they decide to go to the hotel because it's all right there at their feet. They get their own dessert, room service. And so where are they before that? That's what I'm kind of wondering. Are they stuck wherever they died?
The murderers you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's a theory. I wish I could remember it, but there's a theory that it's like, that the ghosts can leave their place where they were killed on Halloween. So does that mean maybe they're all stuck in their spots, and then on Devil's Night or Halloween they're able to come out for the night? I mean. So
then what happens when the night's over? Do they just all walk out together?
Go back
they just disappear
maybe
to
they go back to where they died.
Do they pull a Sally?
I don't know. It's like, I mean, you hear these theories about ghosts and stuff, but it's like someone had to have made that up, and someone else has made up another theory. So what do you even go with?
Yeah.
But awesome questions. Thanks so much, guys.
Oh, and we have one more I wanted to read from the chat.
Cool.
That we don't have a thing for, but it says from IC Stars 1022. Do you like the vampire angle the show has going on?
I do actually. I hosted the True Blood after show. I know you've done a bunch of after shows with vampires. I kind of I don't mind it. What I like is that they're not going all the vampire cliches.
Yeah.
So it's not like they don't have fangs. They can hang around in the light. They're like, it's kind of like a 2015 version of a vampire. Yeah.
My only problem is it's just maybe I'm being too John Lowe about it to an extent. Like, I have all these questions about their rules because, of course, we know all the lore for the other vampire stuff as well, and Ryan Murphy is not following that. So I'm trying to, like, in my head, I'm a list person. Like, okay, they can go in the sun, but it, like, tires them out.
Yeah.
They can die. It doesn't. It can just, they're not completely immortal as long as they don't get hurt. How quickly do they heal? I mean, there's all these kind of questions I have just because I'm a nerd that way.
Exactly, and that's a wonderful thing. I have a question for you. We both read that a Glee actor, Darren Criss, was going to be on this episode. Was he, or was he not?
Did not see him. Because he was listed to be like a hippie.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
He was listed to be a hipster, and also they put up photos on IMDb. They always put up photos for the episode, which I usually grab because we throw them in this show. But there were some photos that weren't even there. So I'm starting to think like maybe they cut some of it off for next week or something, because the predictions, I mean, it's a weird one. I don't know if you guys read it, but an actor from Glee, Darren Criss, you would probably know him, was said to be in this episode tonight. So I'm confused about that, but don't worry, that's just me. I'm gonna do some shout-outs.
I thought maybe at first it was going to be the guy that Jeffrey Dahmer ended up kind of feeding on.
Oh man, maybe.
But I didn't think it was him though.
No, they said the storyline was that he checked in, like trying to running away from wherever he was. It sounded like there was quite a bit of a storyline around him. So maybe next week, maybe we're both just tripping out. But wanted to give a couple of fan shout outs on Twitter to these are like the fan accounts that like are killing it for American Horror Story. So if you're not following them, you definitely should. They're always posting updates and giving us some love, which is really cool. Make sure you follow them. They are at AHS_fans. The next one is at AHS fandom, at AHS Tampa fans, and at the AHS post. So I follow all these accounts. They're awesome. Highly recommend them.
You guys are amazing, by the way. I love all your content, and half of our, the theories that I throw out, I'll like find from.
Oh, mind blowing! So. It's gonna get real, and like I don't even want to start. You know how people like around this time they start like wondering what the theme for the next season is. Like, dude, just digest what's going on now.
Although
just deal with it.
I think people also think of it so early because he usually puts like little Easter eggs in each season.
I'm sorry, but the one last season was like BS. I don't know how you could ever have got the theme for this season out of that, like the top hat on the mug in Freak Show. I mean, I don't know. Anyway, guys, all right, too much to worry about, but I think that's it. I think that's all we got time for.
Yeah, and just thanks for all you guys. The live chat stopped working for me a little while ago, but thank you for everybody on the live chat. Icy Stars 1022 sent questions. Abby Williams as well. Those are the ones I took the screen grab from. So, and there's everybody on Twitter that's been. Yeah, guys. So as I said, tune into and tweet us out with the hashtag AHSAS. My name is Xavier Brinkman. This is the lovely Kristin Carole.
Kristin Carole. You're watching theStream.tv. We'll catch you next time. Peace.